Hi guys, this is a quick possible update before we even begin. About 6 hours after I completed this story yesterday, a news broadcast stated that remains had been found in the desert where Lauren Cho, the subject of this video, was last seen. This morning, other legitimate sources confirmed this. According to San Bernardino, California authorities, identifying these remains will likely take weeks, so I am going to proceed with what is currently known, and I will surely follow up should any updates arise. Now let's get into our newest Unsolved October story. This case could really benefit from some much needed national attention. From the time I was 5 years old, I have always carried a purse. My kindergarten purse was a small black crossbody situation, and it secured my most treasured valuables: a chapstick, a couple of quarters, a Band-Aid, and my lucky purple rabbit's foot. Looking back, that last item was not very lucky for the bunny, and it's pretty creepy and barbaric when you think about it. But the point is, that little bag was my security blanket, and it went with me everywhere. Years later, I still have my handbag nearby, and I have this recurring nightmare. Me, alone in a strange place, with no purse, as in no money, no cell phone, no identification. Even with GPS, I get lost all the time, and this dream invokes panic in me a few times a year. Sadly, this seems to be the current situation for Lauren Cho, another young woman who has gone missing in the United States. As we will discuss in a bit, Lauren left the scene of a quarrel with her boyfriend with nothing but the clothes on her back. She seemingly intended to walk it off, as it were, and she likely expected to return in short order, but that's not how it played out. Nearly all who know Lauren call her by her nickname, L, but for purposes of this video, I will continue to refer to her as Lauren. Her ex-boyfriend, platonic friend Cody, not sure of that relationship at all, was the last confirmed person to see her, and he has the surname Orell. I think references to both L and Orell may become confusing. Also, we need to use our imaginations when discussing Cody. I was unable to locate a single confirmed photo of him. Lauren, age 30, is a young woman of many varied interests and talents. She was living in New Jersey during 2020, but she longed for new adventures. Like the rest of us, quarantine was making her restless, and she hoped the change of scenery would be the panacea needed for a new chapter full of freedom and adventure. A talented singer, Lauren had traveled around Europe with a choir while still a teenager. She went on to graduate from Westminster Choir College and taught music to high school students. She also worked in a tattoo studio owned by Len Gerardi, who describes her as a caring and loyal friend. Gerardi had hoped she would stay on as an apprentice, and plans were in the works for Lauren to learn piercing, but that endeavor never came to fruition. Lauren has a passion for baking and cooking, evidenced by the many recipes she posted on her Instagram page. Her basil ice cream is a popular staple. At some point, she had plans to become a pastry chef. It was this love for the culinary arts that sparked Lauren's new ambitions and dreams. In December 2020, she took the leap. She joined her friend, Cody Orell, on a cross-country trip to California. The pair had dated for some time, but according to Orell, they moved from New Jersey to the West Coast in his tour bus as friends. He speaks highly of his missing friend, stating, quote, "Elle's a super talented person. She's a black belt in Taekwondo and was teaching Taekwondo at age 12. He further explains that she did not recognize the full range of her talents and did not have the self-confidence one would expect of someone possessing her many gifts. They lived in the bus for several months as Lauren pursued her dream of opening her own food truck business. She worked as a private chef during the day, and she would host frequent dinner parties and test new recipes on their guests. It appeared her plans were coming together. Lauren and Cody settled in the Morongo Valley. At the time of her disappearance, they were staying at an Airbnb mobile home community in Yucca Valley. The desert town is about 2 hours from LA and 12 miles from Joshua Tree National Park. With the earnings from her chef job, she bought an old school bus which she planned to repurpose for her food truck. That's where things stood on June 28th. According to witnesses, the pair had been drinking that afternoon and they got into an argument. Around 3 p.m., a frustrated Cho walked off, heading toward the area of Hoopa Road and Benmar Trail. It was summer in the desert, so it was dangerously hot. According to my research, temperatures reached 109 degrees Fahrenheit by noon, and Lauren had taken off without her purse, her cell phone, or any water. According to Cody, he gave her time to cool off, in a manner of speaking. Then after 10 minutes, he went to look for her. She had vanished. Actually, the word he used, as you may have seen repeated in the media, was evaporated. Lauren Cho has not been seen since. At the time of her disappearance, she was wearing a yellow t-shirt and denim shorts. Immediately concerned, Cody contacted friends to join him in a search for Lauren. When the group found no signs of her, he reported her missing some 3 hours later. More friends joined the sheriff's department and volunteers in multiple searches. They created missing person posters which describe Lauren as 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing approximately 110 pounds. A Korean American, she has black hair and brown eyes. She is 30 years old. Nearly every poster shows her smiling. She is known for her ready smile and quirky personality. Here's a shot of Lauren's purse, a rubber chicken with a top zip and a satchel handle. As I mentioned, though, the handbag and her other belongings are not missing. Only the whereabouts of the young woman herself are in question. And questions abound in this perplexing case, but some things we do know include suggestions by ex-boyfriend Cody that Lauren was suffering from, quote, mental distress. He does not elaborate. Another friend, Jeff Frost, said he and others close to Lauren have posted flyers throughout Southern and West California. Lauren had expressed interest in going to the beach in San Diego a few days before she disappeared. She has a pet parakeet named Pork Chop, whom she would never leave for more than 1 day. She has many tattoos, including a lamb and a mushroom. She is very close to her family and especially dotes on her young niece. Her family posted to Facebook that Elle really shines as an aunt. Just days before she disappeared, Lauren prepared a vegan honeymoon dinner for a couple staying at the Airbnb. The community is described as a compound for artists and other creatives. The couple from New York opted to not be identified, but described Lauren as having an angelic presence. She was in great spirits, and her generous gift was delicious. Orell believes that following their argument, Lauren set out to meet someone, but he did not ask who. He says that he didn't want to pry at the time, but now wishes he had. The sheriff's department has conducted numerous search efforts, employing detectives, volunteers, canines, and fixed-wing aircraft. They promise ongoing searches as further leads are developed. A Facebook page run by Cho's family responds to the comparison between their missing daughter's case and that of Gabby Petito, another missing young woman whose disappearance was followed worldwide. Sadly, Gabby was found deceased, and her death has been ruled a homicide. The search for her killer continues. Lauren Cho's family says they understand the frustration many have expressed about how and why certain cases receive national coverage. They add that the two cases are not the same, and the differences run deeper than what meets the public eye. The post concludes with their appreciation for the love shown their daughter, and they empathize with Gabby Petito's family. In September, the Specialized Investigations Division joined the Morongo Basin Station in investigating Lauren's disappearance. The SID is comprised of the Homicide Detail, Crimes Against Children Detail, and the Polygraph Detail. These units investigate major crimes and suspicious deaths. Anyone with information is asked to call San Bernardino authorities at 909-387-3589. Anonymous tips may be reported to the We Tip hotline at 800-78-CRIME or www.wetip.com. In addition, Lauren's friend Jeff Frost, mentioned earlier, has devoted his Instagram page to accepting tips and information regarding Lauren's whereabouts. You can find him by searching @Jeff Frost on Instagram. I have posted these contacts in the description box below. Of course, it is my hope that Lauren Cho is alive and well. I will follow up this video with an update should new information come to light. That's it for today. I thank you very much for joining me. Scary Clary out.